I got an entire table for myself after my husband and his mom didn't save me a seat. So Jake's family had this big reunion dinner planned at some fancy downtown restaurant. Like 50 people invited. Huge deal. Months in the making. I was actually excited. Hadn't met most of these people since our wedding, and I wanted to make a good impression. The plan was for me to meet them there since I had to work late. Jake texted me that they got a big table and saved me a seat right next to him. Perfect. I rushed over straight from work, still in my uniform. But whatever. It's family, right? I walk in and immediately spot their massive table shoved in the back. At least 20 people crammed around it, laughing loud enough to shake the ceiling. Jake's at the end, of course, with his mom, Patricia, glued to his side like she's his human seatbelt. She's always been overly protective, borderline weird about it. I walk up smiling, ready to squeeze in, but nope, every single chair is taken. Drinks already poured, jackets slung on the backs, bread baskets halfway empty. I'm just standing there like, okay, where am I sitting? Jake's face goes red and he mumbles, oh crap, I thought mom saved you a seat. Patricia suddenly becomes fascinated with her menu and goes, well, I figured Jake was handling that. Dead silence. 20 sets of eyes staring at me while some random cousin I'd never met is happily eating in what should have been my chair. I suggest, can't we just ask for another chair? Patricia finally looks up all sweet and fake. Oh honey, the table's already crowded. They probably don't have any extras. The restaurant was packed, sure, but still, this was his wife. And Jake? He just froze like a deer in headlights. Zero backbone, zero solution. So I smiled, said, no problem, I'll sit at the bar. Patricia perks up and goes, actually, there's a little table that just opened up. You could sit there. She points to this tiny two-top in the far corner, basically where they stick people waiting for takeout. The entire family is still staring like this is some soap opera. Someone even whispers awkward, so I surprise even myself. I walk over, sit down, and order the most expensive steak on the menu. Added an appetizer, fancy cocktail, and dessert for good measure. When the waiter asked if I was waiting on someone, I smiled and said, nope, just me tonight. And honestly, it turned into the most peaceful dinner I've had in months. From my corner, I had a perfect view of their chaos. Kids screaming, people talking over each other, Patricia waving her arms mid-story like she was testifying in court. Meanwhile, I'm sipping cocktails, scrolling my phone, enjoying a 5-star meal in peace. The waiter kept checking on me like I was royalty. I even ordered a second cocktail just because I could. Halfway through, Jake finally slinks over looking guilty. Babe, I'm really sorry. Mom said she thought we talked about you sitting separately. I just stared at him. When have I ever said I wanted to sit away from you at a family dinner? He had no answer because yeah, never. Then he goes, just come sit with us. We can squeeze you in. I glance at their table, food covering every inch, elbows practically touching, Patricia in full story mode, and just said, I'm good here, thanks. Jake mutters that it looks weird me sitting alone. I said, weirder than not saving your wife a seat? He had nothing. He went back and tried to explain to everyone that I was choosing to sit alone. Patricia nodded like it made perfect sense. I finished my steak, polished off dessert, paid, and walked out without saying goodbye to a single person. Honestly, best family dinner I've ever had.